Yeah, overall, when you talk about the AI chip kingdom and which companies dominate, and as they jockey for position, I mean, obviously NVIDIA has been a leader, the leader. Where do we stand? What do you watch there?
Yeah, NVIDIA, if you just look at the server centers, right? NVIDIA has a 65% market share there. So that's a heck of a head start and a heck of a moat. Intel's next with about 22% of that market. And then AMD with 11%, a lot of market to grow there. And we know demand is going to remain strong for these centers, these data centers. They got to do all the processing and the storage of our data. That's where you're going to see a lot of big profit margin there. That's why you're seeing the big chip makers targeting the data centers for that revenue. But they're not stopping there. It's desktop. It's laptops as well. So everywhere you look across the ecosystem, whether it's the server centers or the laptops on our desk, these chip makers are fighting for dominance there. But NVIDIA has the biggest lead, and investors have responded to that. If you just look at this year so far, the market performance, it's NVIDIA, and it's NVIDIA alone, basically the winner among the chip makers.
Around a week ago, it was reported that Elon Musk was planning to build a massive facility for training advanced AI systems by the fall of 2025, which would contain 100,000 Nvidia H100 GPUs. This was incredible news for Nvidia stock investors, as this large order proved that Nvidia's H100 chips won't see a lack of demand as the company gears up to release the more powerful Blackwell GPUs. But Elon just surprised Nvidia investors again, this time with an even bigger order. The Tesla CEO said on X that he was looking to buy a staggering 300,000 of Nvidia's new Blackwell B200 AI GPUs to train XAI by next summer. And this proves that Elon still thinks that there's currently nothing better than Nvidia hardware for AI. In today's video, we're going to talk about why this massive order is incredible news for Nvidia investors and why Nvidia stock is a buy just on these news alone. But before we do that, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video.
I don't know what, Blackwell Ultra or Rubin or anything will do in terms of actual numbers at this point. But they will clearly be more, right? With every generation, NVIDIA has been pretty good at ramping up the performance up pretty materially. With AMD, again, the same thing. I don't know exactly what. I think they said the MI350, which is what they have coming in 2025, it was supposed to be 35 times better inference performance than the MI300. Again, you don't exactly know what that means in practice. Those are sort of marketing numbers. The performance will be better, though, presumably, and I guess the MI400 in 26 will be even better. How they will compare versus what NVIDIA will be shipping, that's right, I don't think we know yet. But the gap is still reasonably wide right now, and again, NVIDIA's probably got more resources to put against this. AMD's they're gonna do their best. I'm not saying they're not doing well for what they are. But at the same time, it is a tough race to fight, I think.
Elon Musk said that the new B200 AI GPUs will be a huge upgrade to X's current AI GPU cluster, which is powered by 100,000 previous Gen H100 AI GPUs. And he's extremely right to say so. In fact, NVIDIA's new Blackwell B200 AI GPU has around 4x the AI training performance of H100 and an incredible 30x the inference performance. However, it's important to keep in mind that NVIDIA's new Blackwell B200 AI GPU uses more power than H100. But it seems like Elon, as well as other NVIDIA customers like Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta, believe that the insane performance improvements are worth it. Even though we're looking at 300,000 AI GPUs versus 100,000 AI GPUs, the Blackwell B200 GPUs will have astonishing amounts of AI computing power, and that is something that NVIDIA nailed when it first announced Blackwell at GTC 2024 earlier this year. And now that NVIDIA announced the Rubin platform for 2026, we can see its customers, including Elon and his companies, already lining up for the newest tech as well. But let's stay in the present for now and talk about what this new massive order means for NVIDIA. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy. X uses a massive array of Nvidia's AI GPUs for Grok, Elon Musk's AI bot, and ChatGPT competitor. The AI was developed to provide less straightforward answers, as well as witty and comedic answers compared to other chatbots out there. Basically, Elon is trying to take the robot aspect out of the AI bot, and he thinks more Nvidia GPUs will help him do that. It's estimated that an order of this size could cost Elon between $9 billion and $12 billion, as Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, said that the Blackwell GPUs cost $30,000 to $40,000 apiece. While this is great news for Nvidia, as it means more money for the company, the math here is rough, as there could be discounts on really large volumes, and prices could also vary depending on what additional components a customer buys. There's also the fact that Elon might not go ahead with the plan as described, and might instead go for a smaller order. This is because his XAI startup recently raised $6 billion in its latest venture round, which means that it wouldn't be able to fund the entirety of this order with its own resources. Still, Elon's comments can be seen as an indicator of the way things are moving in the AI market. During the Computex event in Taiwan, Jensen said that by 2026, he expects data centers to start having millions of GPUs connected together, and Nvidia will be the main beneficiary of such a scenario. The global data center market is expected to increase to a valuation of $622 billion by 2030 from $301 billion in 2023, and in March of this year, it was reported that Nvidia had 65% of the data center AI chip market. Therefore, it could definitely capitalize on that expected growth, and if it managed to maintain this share, the company could bring in $404 billion in revenue by 2030. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
We're going to get to some trending tickers we are watching this morning. We got to start with the big guy here, Nvidia. Those shares are up a little over 3.5% this morning after the company announced new AI chips. Bank of America moving on this news, raising their price target on the stock to $1,500 a share. That is up from $1,320, and this is now the highest call on the street. Now, Shauna, not only getting news from Nvidia this morning, AMD also announcing a new chip at this tech conference this week. And AMD is kind of the closest thing Nvidia has to a competitor, but I just pulled this stat that shows how far ahead Nvidia is from AMD. They grew sales by $100 billion in AI chips in the past year. AMD is expected to do $4 billion. So you really can't compare. That's 1/25th in terms of the comparison.
Exactly. You talk about just the sheer dominance that Nvidia has had over the market up until this point, and you talk about the new chips, what they have in the pipeline. Clearly, a lot of excitement surrounding what we heard from Jensen Huang over the weekend, and that's why you're seeing Nvidia once again, a stock that had already been up 120+% heading into the weekend, up another 3.5% to 4% here today. So you talk about that runway for growth, and I think a lot of that optimism was reflected in this new price target that we're getting out here from Bank of America earlier this morning, $1,500. That's up from $1,320. And why? Well, they're bullish here just in terms of where we are in the sector. They're still saying that we're early in the cycle here for the sector. AI tailwinds and solid free cash flow. They see near term, it might be a bit stretched, but the semiconductor cycle has legs for another 12 to 18 months. So again, when you take into account that 1,500 call, that's about 37% upside from where we are today. So still many analysts on the street remaining extremely bullish on this name. You can see investors clearly getting excited by some of the announcements that were made over the weekend. And still, it just really shows that we are maybe, in fact, in the very, very early innings of the AI adoption cycle and the AI investment cycle when it even comes to some of those CapEx trends as well.
If you're an investor who wants to capitalize on this Elon and Nvidia super alliance, then you could consider investing in XAI through Cathie Wood's ARK Venture Fund, which recently disclosed that it has taken a stake in the AI startup. The fund also invests in OpenAI, the industry leader behind ChatGPT, as well as other companies in the industry, such as Figure AI and Shield AI. But we as Nvidia investors just can't let go of the fact that Wood sold Nvidia too early and missed out on more than $1 billion in returns. This is why investors should just load up on more Nvidia shares instead of investing in funds. The overall average price target for Nvidia stock on Wall Street stands at nearly $1,200, and the consensus rating remains a strong buy, breaking down as 37 buy ratings and 3 holds. So far, no analyst dares issue a sell rating. And all of these analysts are bullish on Nvidia for a good reason. Overall worldwide AI chip revenue will grow 26% from $53.4 billion in 2023 to $67.1 billion in 2024, according to a recent report from research firm Gartner. That is expected to double to $119 billion by 2027, and with Nvidia's massive market share and leadership position in AI chips, no one will benefit from this growth more than the company. Jensen Huang said Nvidia would design new chips annually and stressed that companies across a wide range of industries that don't embrace AI will be left behind, saying that only via AI chips can companies control the computation inflation of ever-expanding data needs. With all of this in mind, we think that it's hard to bet against Nvidia stock, and it remains a stock to hold for the long term. The company keeps innovating and entering new industries that are growing rapidly, so this might actually be the safest stock in the entire market to bet your money on. But what do you think about Nvidia stock? Is it a buy at the current price? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to tell us what your valuation for Nvidia is. If you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.